Okay, so I decided to do something a little different today. So the next animated movies were uh, two animated movies came out on the exact same day, at the very end, last day of 1952. Both of them are Russian. Both of them are from the same studio. In fact, I think the studio's kind of been the source for all the Russian movies, but so far at least. But since they both came out the same day and they both have kind of a similar look to them, they all have similar, rotoscope animation, I decided to just watch both of these movies back to back as a double feature, and yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and review both of them for this video. So yeah, the first movie is called The Scarlet Flower. And essentially it's the story of Beauty and the Beast. It's based on a book that someone wrote, and that book was based on Beauty and the Beast, so it's like an adaptation. And yeah, the story is pretty much the same as the original story. Obviously, it's not like the Disney version with the Beast isn't like this ferocious monster. He's actually quite nice. So you don't really have to worry about Beauty, or Belle, if you will, warming his heart. He's already very nice to her, but yeah, I think how the movie goes is pretty much how the original Beauty and the Beast story goes. But anyway, yeah, so basically it's about this, there's this guy who's this sailor captain guy, and he has 3 daughters. He's about to go on a voyage. He asks the 3 daughters what kind of gifts they want. The other 2 ask for rather vain types of gifts, whereas the youngest one just wants a nice little rose, or a scarlet flower, if you will. So yeah, on his voyage, he finds the other 2 treasures, and then he and then while trying to find the rose, he gets caught in a storm. He ends up marooned on this paradise-like island. He finds a castle. He goes in. He's treated like a king for a little while, and then he finds, this rose. He picks it, and then the Beast gets angry. The Beast wants, he tells him that he's trying to pick it for one of his daughters, and the Beast tells him to bring one of the daughters to him. And if he doesn't, then the father will die. And so the father returns home. He gives the girls their gifts. And then the youngest one overhears him saying that he's going to go back and let the Beast kill him. So yeah, come morning, so while he's sleeping, she steals the ring, the magic ring that teleports him from the castle back to the house. He steals the ring and then teleports herself to the island, where the Beast essentially hits on her. He treats her like a queen, and, she ends up really liking it there, but then she wants to return home, so the Beast lets her return home before but he wants her to come back before the sun sets, otherwise he'll die of a broken heart, basically. She's about to return home, but then her sisters trick her into staying so that the Beast starts dying. She returns home while he is on the brink of death. Or she returns back to the island while he's on the brink of death. And yeah, she confesses her love for him, and then he turns back into a human. I think you know the story of the witch turning him into a beast and all that stuff. Story's a little different from the Disney version. They have changed a couple things for that movie. But yeah, this seemed like a pretty straightforward adaptation, although there might have been like some extra fantasy elements thrown in there. I don't know, but you know what? I liked it. It was very well animated, and I mean, all these Russian movies kind of have a very similar style of animation. They all use rotoscoping. But yeah, this one, I still really like the animation, and I thought it told the story very well. It felt a little emotional at times. I thought they did a good job with it. It's short. It's less than 45 minutes, so that might have helped it a bit. But yeah, I like it. I think my rating for it would be 7 out of 10. And yeah, I would recommend this movie if you are a fan of animation and want to check out some good old animation history. So yeah, the next movie is The Snow Maiden. It's about the daughter of, basically there's the god of winter and the goddess of spring or something, and they have this daughter who's simply named the Snow Maiden. Or her name's pretty much Snow Maiden in Russian. And, you know, they let her live in this village among these people, but they tell her not to let her love be exposed to the sun or something like that. It's a little hard to follow, but, you know, while she's in the village, she falls in love with this guy who plays a flute, but for a while, he doesn't seem to like her back. And then there's this other guy who dumps his girlfriend to go after her. Yeah, neither of the male love interests in this movie are very pleasant characters. Both of them are kind of jerks, but yeah, you know, the two guys start competing for her love, and then there's some confusing crap. This is based on an opera, so, you know, there's a lot of singing and something that can get a little pitchy, if you will, but got a bit of a headache watching this, but I don't know, the singing's not... There's still plenty of great singing. I'm just saying, you know, there's only so much opera I can listen to, and, you know, when it reaches a certain pitch. But, yeah, it's kind of hard to follow, but a lot easier to follow than that Night Before Christmas movie I watched yesterday, but still, I guess as far as, like, operas go, this one was fine. I don't like it as much as Scarlet Flower. It is longer, and it does drag a little bit. There are a lot of very slow moments. You know, the characters aren't all that relatable. It's a very basic fairy tale-like story, and, you know, everyone talks all this, you know, romantic prose. They did that in, like, pretty much all the Russian movies I've watched so far as well, but, including Scarlet Flower, but, Scarlet Flower, I think, had a good balance of, like, you know, the romantic prose and story, you know. This one, yeah, I didn't enjoy watching it quite as much, but it's still a very pretty looking movie, and, you know, if you're a fan of operas, you might like this, or yeah, you should probably like this one. Yeah, I'd probably... From a personal preference, I'd probably rate Snow Maiden with a 6 out of 10, because, yeah, again, I didn't like it as much as Scarlet Flower. I keep almost saying Scarlet Letter. I think I'm getting it mixed up with Lost Letter. But yeah. So yeah, both these movies are very beautiful in terms of animation, but, you know, neither of them are masterpieces, but, yeah, I think Scarlet Flower was just a little more compelling to watch. Snow Maiden has its charm, but it's probably not a movie I really care to watch all that much in the future. But yeah, if you're interested, feel free to check both these movies out. Maybe do a double feature like I just did. Is there anything else to say? Because I do feel maybe there's something I'm forgetting. Not a whole lot else to say, so I'll just leave it at that. Again, if I have anything to add, I guess I'll just write a comment about it. So yeah, that's about it. Mashit and Smash It signing off.